Hello and welcome to another Webinar Wednesday. Today we are talking about a few different video tips, working with them, how to embed them, maybe even a few tips of what types of recording tool to use. You also are going to see that we're going to discuss the Branding Center a little bit and a little bit of how to use it, how to set up different templates, and a few things you can do with it. So to get started, we're actually going to talk about the video section. And I've got a campaign set up called just video testing, and I'm going to show you two different things. One is how to work with and embed videos on a form, and how to work with and embed videos in an email, and different options that you have for each. So if we take the form example first, go ahead and open that up, and it could be a web form, it could be a landing page, it doesn't matter. I have just a simple content added here now. So what we're going to do is we can add our video. And if we go over to our field snippets, or actually our general snippets, in fact, you have two different choices. One is if your video resides on YouTube, then of course you can use the YouTube snippet. However, I want to show you what it looks like if you do. So it's asking you for the video ID. So if we go ahead and just pull up a YouTube video here and grab an ID off of one of them. Sure, we'll go with this one. Now the ID is at the end of the string up in the web address. It'll say equals, and then this is the video ID. So if we copy that over, we put that in, save it, and it puts it like this. But as you can see, there's no play button, there's no image surrounding it whatsoever. However, the videos that are put here are going to be able to play from the form. On the form itself, the page that they're on, they'll be able to click and play that. So if, however, instead of using YouTube, maybe your video is either on Vimeo or some other source there. If we pull up, and we'll just open this maybe in a new tab. Let's open Vimeo here. And sure, maybe we want to use one of these. Let's actually just use one of the on their homepage, see what they got. And who knows, maybe we'll don't actually know where their videos are, so we'll just use one of the ones that we have here, last week's webinar, for example. So we've got our video here. Now, if we want to use this, we have to click the share icon. We want to go down to the embed section and go ahead and just click on that, copy it over, and if we come back in our HTML section, you go ahead and paste that in, but you'll want to make sure you adjust the width and the height to fit whatever the setup is that you've got in place. So I'm just going to adjust my width down to maybe, and let's actually adjust it here. The reason I say that is when you adjust it here, it should auto adjust for you the other dimension. So if I say 500, and as you can see, it now updates it, and likewise it auto updated my iframe. So I want to just replace that, and let's save it. So right now there's no non-visible element, right? So it's still there, everything looks good, non-visible element, save that. So if we go ahead and just turn this on, it still should play from our page. We'll go ahead and publish it because we want to see what the form itself looks like. Takes just a second to update. There we go. Click back on our edit tab, open up the form. And then what we're going to do is go over to our code section and just click on the link to open it up. So it does have our video. We can play it here and everything works great. So it does allow you to embed it, but as you can see, maybe the size is too small, maybe you want to center align it. You can easily do things like that. And so one of the things that I could show you is, let's just say I want to center align it, right? You've got your embed code, maybe you don't know how to do that. You just do a little kind of less than sign, type in the word center, put a greater than sign at the back. Now on this one, you just do the less than sign on the end, then the slash, and then center. So we're basically telling it, make everything from here to here center, and that little slash tells it where to end. when you save it, now you just have to come back, and if it didn't recognize your change, sometimes what you have to do is just mark it from ready to draft back to ready, publish it again. And then once it's published, your setup should now reflect your updated code. Pardon me. So if we open that up, there we go. Now it's centered and everything looks great. So you can do that with, again, outside players. Just grab the embed code from the share option. You could actually do the same thing from YouTube and everything would be fine. On the form itself, obviously this one does have a play button. Everything looks good here. Let's take a glance. If we do, instead of this, if we come back and grab our YouTube player, let's just see what we get. That's that ID again. Now let's go ahead and come back, and we're just going to refresh this page. There we go. Stop it from playing. Copy our ID, and so when we come back again right here, it doesn't look like there's any play button, but if we publish it, just so you can see the difference between the two. There we go. Open the form again. Come back under our code, click the link on it. And this one does include the play button, right? So when you're embedding the forms onto, or rather when you're embedding the videos onto forms, play button, player, everything is set up because again, you're pulling in the video player itself. However, if you do it on an email, the same is not true, because the page itself, the web page, renders the video player, and therefore you get your play buttons and everything from that. So if we do it in an email, however, excuse me, and we come over here, grab our snippet. Let's try that again. Here we go. Paste in the ID. Now you have this image, and if we preview it, that's all we get. There's an image, it's a link to the video. The video itself will not play in your email, and actually that's by design. Most email service providers actually consider it a bad thing, possibly spam practice, to actually play the video in the email. So for that reason, Infusionsoft simply has it link to the video rather than have it set up to be the player right in the email. So how do we get around this where it's, maybe it's the image, but it looks like it's a play button rather than just an image where if you saw it, you might say, hey, yeah, that's a cool image, but you won't know it's a link to a video. So if we go about this a little bit differently, I'll show you how we can approach it. Either way, it's going to link to the source. So using your code from the video player or the YouTube, again, doesn't matter because it's not going to play in the email. So that's kind of besides the point at this stage. What you can do is, for example, if it's this video, you could get to whatever the stages that you want, or maybe it's on the initial clip. Maybe that's where you want to grab it from. So, pardon me, I've got a little frog in my throat. So if we come back here, and you could do a couple of different options. One, you could grab wherever it was, you could grab the image from the video icon itself, or you could actually just run a Google search. For example, if I have that, I think was Minions movie, and I'll do thumbnail, or maybe image. And if we open up the images, now we can see here's a video. Obviously, this might not work for everyone, but whatever the actual image is from the video, make sure you save that or copy it. Or in certain cases, you can use, again, the tool that was explained in one of our previous webinars, which is called Jing, J-I-N-G. It's a free screen capture tool. And so, for example, if you have this and maybe you want to just save it, or if that's for whatever reason not the case, or you only want a portion of it, you can use Jing, which again will allow you to line up your crosshairs, get your image, capture it, and then, maybe you can just Minion movie, title it whatever you want, save it. So now that I have that in place, again, that still doesn't look like a play button, right? It doesn't look like a video player or anything like that. Presuming that is the icon I want to use for my video, what we can do at this point is if you have any sort of image editing program like Adobe or anything like that, obviously, I would obviously recommend using that. This one is for those who don't. It's a free option called Sumo Paint, and you could just go to sumopaint.com to find it. You don't have to create an account or anything like that. You just go under File, and then I'm going to say Open from my computer, and then wherever we saved it should be under Documents. Here we go. Let's open up that image. So there we go. But again, we still need to get a play button on there somehow so it looks like an image, a video. So if I come over to Google and I just maybe type in video play button image, you have plenty of choices. The only thing I'd recommend is whenever you're looking at them, if you click on them, for example, this kind of checkered background behind the image is what you're wanting. The reason I say that is the checkered background represents that there's no image beyond just what you have right there displaying. So it's not going to show, any sort of white block, for example, overlaying your image. So that's what you want to go for. You can go with whatever image you think looks best. There's plenty of options to choose from, even ones with like a little video player at the bottom. I'm just going to choose one. Let's just see if this one will work. Yep. So go ahead and save image as play button. That looks great. So if we come back over to Sumo Paint, I've got my image here, but now I can do File, and I can say Import to Layer from Computer. And what this is saying is I'm going to just add a new layer from what I've got. So I've got play button, open, and now you can see there's a play button there. And if I go over to my arrow tool, if I want, I can move this wherever I desire. So some of them look more like play buttons than others, or stand out maybe more than others, but I'm going to just assume that will work. Now I just come up to File again, say Save to my computer, and now this is the new one, so I'll just maybe change to PNG Minion Movie 2, save that. And so if I come back now, I'll go ahead and just close the pages, don't need them anymore. Now I want my little image display here, so I can just go ahead and add a new image from an image snippet, click on it, and now you just find the image that you just created, which is, mine is right here. Take a second to load, and then when it does, there we go. Now you can see it's got the play button there. Everything looks like I want it to. So then I click on the icon here, and then I can go up to the link tab, and then here's where I could actually paste the web address for the YouTube Minion movie trailer. Yeah, maybe this is the one I want. And then you just copy that out, paste it in. And then whoever clicks this is obviously still getting to the movie, just like it would be if you used the YouTube snippet or paste in the code. However, now it actually looks like a play button or something like that. Obviously, you might not want to use this type of image. Maybe screenshot your video player. Whatever you want to do is fine. Save you a step if you want. But this is one way you can do it from whatever image you want. Put a play button on there or any other image overlaid on top of it and link it to the source so you can still get the people to view the video, but maybe in a more sensible, clear fashion. So that's how you would approach it. make it an image, put a play button, and link it. So that is the difference between embedding the video on the form or embedding the video in an email. A few different possible tips for you. There's plenty of screen capture options if it is some sort of a walkthrough choice that you want to present to your customers. There's plenty of free choices out there, depending on the nature and the length of your videos. You have Jing itself will actually record video for you. From their free version, they only give you up to 5 minutes, so that's somewhat limiting. There is another service out there called Zoom.us. So if you go to their site, Zoom.us, is all you type in. You can go ahead and sign up, do whatever you want. Even on the free account, you have unlimited 40-minute recordings that you can create. And the recordings themselves are free. Obviously, you can save them and do what you will. So if 40 minutes is enough, Zoom is a great way to do it. Tremendous platform to use there. Or you could obviously use plenty of other screen share options. You can just simply search on Google for that and see some other choices. Now, when it comes to uploading to different platforms, you can use, for example, YouTube, obviously. YouTube, unless you have a paid account or do a few things, it's harder to get it as high of a quality that you might want. Vimeo itself has, on their free plan, at least at the time this movie is being made, their free plan allows you to upload 1 HD video per week. So depending on the frequency that you need to record or upload, you can actually still get HD video online, keeping the quality of video that you have from your recording and still not have to pay for it. You have other choices, but real quick, a side note with the Vimeo approach, it takes about 40 minutes before it's in the HD format. It takes if you don't have a paid version, you don't have to wait for it, but it basically waits in line, so to speak, to encode and get your video to the quality it needs to be. So that's just a heads up about that. Apart from that, there's plenty of different tools and whatnot available, even free ones, to edit your videos if needed. But I won't get too far into that because that's not as much of what we're going to talk about today. So that's, again, a little bit of tips and pointers about working with videos, embedding them, using them with Infusionsoft's editors, both on the form side and the email side. So now we're going to shift gears and look at the Branding Center. And if we open this up, it's almost always there, since their most recent update, you'll get this little message saying that our thumbnail pictures displaying what you've actually updated it to be are not working at this time. So hopefully that'll resolve itself, but it actually doesn't affect functionality. If you've updated any of these, they will be in effect. So what we're going to start with is under your default templates, you have right here, you can see on mine, I've got this email template is my quote-unquote master template whenever I'm adding a new template in the campaign itself. You can see that there's different sections for campaign emails, broadcast emails, single emails. Follow-up sequences you never have to worry about because they're a legacy function over in your marketing section. And that was basically an old, less usable, less ease of use approach than you can do in the campaign builder. So again, you don't have to worry about those. You have the template library, the default email confirmations that Infusionsoft has in the campaign. You can actually even set up master templates for your campaign forms and their thank you pages. Again, legacy forms you don't need to worry about. Internal forms as well, of course. Landing pages, letter templates, and the thank you pages for order forms. So any of these you can come in and play around with and easily either build the emails here by clicking edit and actually configuring them, or if I click edit here just to point out a thing. Once the builder loads, again, you can see I can change this and make it whatever I want. Or if I open this drop down, I can say copy from a template. Now it's saying what template would you like to use. You can choose the one you want and plug it in. The thing that you'll note is it's not saying copy from a campaign. So if you have an email that you wish to use from the campaign, you'll need to go in and open that same drop-down we just looked at, but in the campaign view, you'll see an option that'll say Save as Template. And then you'll go to your marketing template section, make sure everything is as you want it or updated as you will, and make sure that just like we find in the campaign where there's a draft to ready slider, in your marketing template section, you find the same thing, it's just not in the email itself. If we open this up, it will bring in, again, whatever you had, scroll down, and you'll have email readiness, ready to send, and you'll need to mark that as yes and save it before you'll be able to reference it here. So whenever you do, you get the one you want, everything's as it should. Click Edit back here in the Branding Center, pull it in from the template that's set up, and you'll be ready to go. So you don't need to save it or anything here. There's no option to even. It'll auto-save for you once you select it and back out of the builder. So that's how you approach it in this fashion. If we look under our Logos tab, you can do different things. You have your default master logo that will appear in the email. So again, if you've already created a master template, it overrides it, so it doesn't matter. You can also do logo locations for external pages, your Infusionsoft sign-in page, your logo snippets. You can edit these as desired. The Infusionsoft footer tab these are images that traditionally and links that traditionally appear in the bottom right-hand corner of your email if everything is left on the default setting. You can scroll down to the bottom and you have these settings, and you have two questions. One is allow Infusionsoft footer in the emails. You can mark that as yes or no if you want. Allow Infusionsoft footer to link to Infusionsoft, yes or no. And so what this is doing is, again, you can see right here, it says my Infusionsoft referral partner code. So what this means is if you basically get someone to click your link from the footer to check out Infusionsoft and eventually buy, then you have a referral partner code so you can keep track of and actually get credit for those who sign up because of your link and your advertisement, essentially. So do with that what you will. If you want it on, keep it on. If you don't, mark these no and click Save. And it'll update accordingly. So nothing too crazy there, but it's good to know a little bit of those details regarding the template usage and the footer edits and things that you can do there. There's only one question that was submitted that we're going to touch on today. And someone had asked, can I know when someone stopped viewing a video? And so when you embed the video either on the form or on an email, most likely, the answer is yes, but not by default. So Infusionsoft doesn't have the capability to do that alone. There are services and tools out there that you can do that with. Really, one of the only options that currently exists that at least I'm aware of is a service called PlusThis. And if you, for example, just type in video tracking Infusionsoft, for example, in Google, you have right here, PlusThis, video triggers do more with Infusionsoft, and gives you some information about that. But you can basically tell it, let me know when, or put this tag on them if they've reached this marker in the video, or put this other tag on them if they've reached the end of it and remove the first tag, that type of thing. So that option is available, but you just have to pay for an outside service to do so. So other than that, that's at least what we had on the agenda to cover today. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to fill out the form below. Thanks again for watching, and look forward to next week. Thank you.